So that's bandit signs. And this is actually, you could put it in time intensive. It's a time intensive inbound. So like you're gonna have to put up a ton of bandit signs to get a deal. Like there is a lot of bandit signs you'll have to put in to get a deal. Oh, and also a little bit of a quick win as we got on the call here. My boy Junior just hit 10K in wholesale fees here recently, as acquisitions of Middle America Homes. So we could give Junior a little bit of congratulations there. It's been a long time coming, just kept putting in work. Anybody can do it. Okay. All right, the last two there is Facebook posts and social media posts. Now, these last three are not really as cash intensive, but there's still people reaching out to you. That's why I would call it inbound. Okay. So if I make a Facebook post and I say, I need to buy houses, like you guys see me do this all the time if you're following me on Facebook, uh, and someone comments and says, I have a deal, I have all this, they're reaching out to me. I had the post and then they came and said, I have a property. So that's inbound, right? And that's free. You can do that for free. Same thing with like any other social media post. You put something on Instagram, anywhere, um, something about your business, what you do. It doesn't even have to be wholesaling. And someone even just likes, comments, or anything that is giving you a lead. They've expressed interest, and you can say something to them then. So that's lead. Okay. Um, so that's practically all of the marketing channels that you can do for wholesaling. And once you get to a point you want to, so what I learned is that you want to have three or four if you're actually wanting to build a sustainable wholesaling business. And now I know a lot of you guys aren't really at this point, but you want to have multiple. Now, when you're starting out, you want to do the ones that probably are least cash intensive, like cold calling, door knocking, driving for dollars, texting people, possibly, um, going on to calling real estate agents. I could put that on there too. Outbound calling agents. All of those are ways that you can spend your time to get deals, and make offers, right? Because this business is all about how many leads can you get and how many offers can you make to those leads, right? The money ball metric in this business is offers made. If you don't make any offers, you're not going to get any deals, right? And if you don't have any leads, you don't have anybody to make offers to. So you guys see how this connects? It's marketing and then sales. All right. Um, so that's about it. And I guess you could also say outbound is just telling everybody that like, well, it could be, well, no, I would say that yeah, it would be outbound. It's more like cold calling, like telling your family members, telling anybody you know, hey, do you know anybody who's interested in selling a property? That's kind of like cold calling. Um, that's another way that you can do it and not really spend any money. Um, but it does take time. If you guys want to actually wholesale and do deals, it does take time. And Junior's at a spot where he's with a company where he's being acquisitions. So he just got leads coming into him, and all he has to worry about is sales, right? It's much easier when you don't have to prospect and get leads coming in. If you have leads and you can just sell them. But this is the hardest part that people don't realize about wholesaling and real estate, is the marketing side of it. It's really, really huge. That's the biggest thing. Okay. So, you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, what the RVM mean?
So, RVM is ringless voicemails.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep. So, ringless voicemails is exactly how it sounds.
Okay.
Um, is that you have a list of people and you send a voicemail to all of them. Like let's say there's sellers, and there's services you can do that would do this. Like you send them a voicemail like, hi, sorry, I don't think that we spoke before. I apologize. I know it's out of the blue. I was calling about a property I believe you own. I was curious if you wouldn't be opposed to an offer on the home. I'm a local investor looking to buy more properties. If you're interested, give me a call back. and you send those out to, you can send thousands of those. Normally it's like 75,000 voicemails will get you a deal. Um, but that is a way to do it. Yeah. So that's ringless voicemails. Good question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any questions? Any more? No juniors on a call right now too.
All right, Nick. So I know we're talking about more like wholesaling and anything like that. And what type of advice do you have once a person maybe have got that lead in and now is basically trying to close it? What advice is for you? Because a lot of us probably don't have a lot of well, marketing and sales, um,
Mhm.
I guess sales, sales into us wherever. So what type of tips would you give for as far as in sales, as far as I mean, just I guess um the boot camp, I guess the beginner of a sales pitch, I guess I would say.
Yeah, 100%. Good question. And are you saying then, let me get clarification from you. Like sales in particular to wholesaling or just sales in general?
Well, I mean, I guess, well, it would be sales and wholesaling, I guess, period, because once you get the lead, you basically got to close the deal. I mean,
Yeah.
even though you get the lead, that doesn't, that doesn't mean anything. You just
Yeah.
like you got half of the problem done. You're not really at the finish line until you actually got that, paperwork signed and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
basically getting a contract over to them, I guess I would say.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a lot that goes into that. And if I were to distill it down into like one thing that I'll say one thing overall for like sales in general, and then I'll go into the wholesaling. Um, Sales in general, it's really all about figuring out what problem a person has,
Okay.
discussing with them to see what type of problem, like do they have a problem, and can your product, whatever you're selling, solve that problem. So
Okay.
first and foremost, like a lot of people go into sales immediately wanting to pitch, like
Right.
they have what they do, but first and foremost, you have to see whether that person even has the problem that you can solve, right? So let's say that somebody is going into Lowe's, and I know that you're rehabbing a property, so I want to make this example. Um, somebody's going into Lowe's and they're looking for paint, right, to paint their house. And one of
Right.
the Lowe's associates is like trying to make sales, and they're talking to them about trying to sell them lumber. They're like,
Okay.
oh, this lumber, we got the best price on this. It's this much off, blah, blah. When this person doesn't even need lumber, they need paint.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So you just have to like go into the call, like really trying to assess whether the person has a problem that you can solve. Like, what is their problem? What are they looking for? Um,
Right.
I really learned that from Jeremy Lee Minor, and it's like a lot of people when you're talking to them in wholesaling, give me an offer. Give me an offer right now. I get all these
Mm.
calls all the time. Like, I'm so tired of it. Just give me an offer. And one of the things that we respond is like, well, I would love to be able to give you an offer, but quite frankly, I'm not even sure if what we do as a company would fit what you're hoping to accomplish with your property. Like
Mm.
I'm not even sure if you could be better off listing with an agent. You could be better off keeping the property. You could be better off rehabbing it yourself. You could be better off like keeping it, as a rental. So
Mm.
having that mindset of like, all right, I got to find out a problem. Now, that's like overall, that's sales in general. Um,
Okay.
and then directly to wholesaling. Um, so wholesaling, the main idea is you have to find someone who is motivated. That's it.
Okay.
And the way that you are able to do that, you want to have a structure like somebody's willing to sell within the next 30 days. You've got the condition of the home, you've got their asking price, um, and you've got, what their timeline is, what their motivation is. Um, it really is connecting with them about why they wouldn't want to go another route and why they want to sell quickly and as is. So out of the market share of properties that are sold, 25% on an annual basis, sometimes it's a little bit above, sometimes a little bit less, but it normally averages out to 25% of all homes sold in the United States are investor properties, right? That are
Mhm.
sold off market. And out of that 25%, there's probably about 3 to 5% of those homeowners at any time that are willing to accept an offer low enough that an investor or a wholesaler would be able to be part of that. Okay, so you're really needing to dig into the person's motivation and why they're wanting to sell off market and sell fast, um, and get cash quickly. So that's like you want to talk to them and try and figure out what that is. Like whether that's they need money currently, they don't want to have to deal with it. They're a tired landlord, all of these sort of things. That's how I approach it. Um,
Okay.
to find out what their problem is. Now, like the actual tactics, like there's a lot, right? Because you've got to go into the offer about trying to negotiate with them to get a good deal, how
Right.
to go about talking to them about condition. So there's a lot more that we it would take a whole other call to go into this and why a lot of people take, daily sales trainings to go over all of the objections, all the things that you have to do. But an overarching thing is you really want to talk to them about their motive, try and get them to talk to you about why they want to sell, what makes it so that they would be willing to sell cash as is.
Okay.
Yep. Good question. Does that help at all?
Yeah, that does. I mean, I heard you previous times talk about just find out the motive, find out their problem, and then kind of go from there. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard you talk about one time um, how a lot of investors um, they want that like that quick flip and nobody wants that ugly duckling house and a lot of investors call you and just say, hey, I want something like quick and flip a cosmetic, but it's like it's a lot of them out there that don't want that ugly duckling, and then you got to find those people that actually wants it, so I kind of understand what you mean by just finding the solution, solving that person's problem. So basically just figure out why they're trying to sell. Maybe they're low on cash, or maybe like you said, maybe it's more a hassle than it actually is really a asset to them. So
Yep.
okay.
100%. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
Yep. A lot of people, um, just go into it like giving them an offer, not really talking about, what's really going on with them, why they want to sell, building rapport.
mm,
They just think that marketing is a numbers game. Sales is a little bit of a numbers game, but it's more so of a skills game. Uh,
right, right, right.
if someone says they're interested in selling, it's up to you then to have the sales ability to like talk to them about the different options, to talk to them about the consequences of them not selling, to get them to feel like, man, I really must sell off market. It makes so much sense for me to do this. Why haven't I done it earlier? Right? Those are the questions that they should be asking at towards the end of your sales call. Um, and that's the skills portion of it. And there's even more like tonality, the way that you're asking questions, consequence questions, situation questions, questions to build rapport. Um, it's sales is the number one skill that you can learn to increase your income in anything that you do. Um,
All right, okay.
yeah. So like junior can testify to that. Um, like being allowing his sales ability to increase and like working on it has like increased his income tenfold. It's the greatest skill that you can learn. So it goes along with the marketing is like you want to do both. Like you want to be very good at getting leads coming in, but you also want to be able to um be good at sales
Well,
and talk to them.
I've been trying to work on it, Nick, but it's been a little difficult because, like you said, I'm working on a rehab, and then I'm finally done with it now. So it's like, I want to um, it was out. That was actually uh, a good, I guess, learning situation for me too, because it actually got me in the field to actually learn what like when you go like I guess if I do put numbers together, I don't have to lowball an investor or lowball a client because I kind of know what what a rehab might cost me. And I
Right.
see a lot of wholesalers do that where they either way too high or what I'm saying, they're pulling a number out that's not reasonable. Like I think I seen one, 30,000 for a rehab, and I'm looking at it, it's like at least 2,000 square feet, and it looks like it need a new roof. And it looked like it need plumbing, looked like it need electrical. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so that was a good learning experience for me too, far as that. So now I need to just kind of like work on my sales. I think I'll be okay once I can get that under my belt. And like I said, once I already had this rehab and I got kind of like got a team of guys that, what I'm saying? So once I get sales, I know sales is a lot harder. It's a lot, like you said, it's a lot more that goes into sales. It's not just making a sale. It's like you said, it's all about your tone. It's about your body language. If you're in front of that person, you
Yep.
know, it's a lot. It's about eye contact. You know what I'm saying? So I get
Mhm.
it. I definitely get it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And kudos to you. Like, not a lot of people take that step of like working on a house and actually finishing it. So that's like, are you keeping it as a rental now?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to get a renter in there, man. I'm hoping to hopefully I'm asking for 1,000. I mean everything is brand new, flooring, roof, plumbing, electrical. I mean we got appliances in there, so yeah.
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 Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. So what's the next step for you then?
Be honest with you, Nick. I just had the house appraised. So I'm hoping to get back. Hopefully the guy gets back with me sometime tomorrow or sometime this week. Had it appraised like I think Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
My thought would be come back at least 130, 140. Be able to pull some of that equity out, man, and go get another one. So that's the idea. But
Love it.
my goal um is to try to maybe work a seller financing deal because I mean that honestly I poured all my money into this house. Not saying that was probably the smartest thing to do, but I mean obviously it came out okay, but
Wow.
I wouldn't do it again because it was definitely a struggle because like I said, I mean I poured all my savings into it, but I'm looking to do another deal, but I want to do a seller financing deal. I want to create a deal like that. So
Yeah.
so I don't have to use a lot of credit, don't have to use a lot of money. Maybe I could talk to, like you said, finding the client in was finding their situation because it's a lot of clients out here. It's a lot of investors or that's looking to do that. But some people can't go to the bank and get a loan. So you
Right.
know,
Yeah,
so
that's the whole, Burr method. A lot of people have built massive portfolios just by doing what you're doing right now, buy,
hmm
rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, right? And
right.
that's the whole idea. So I mean, you're doing it and now you're at a good spot where you're going to be able to have that equity and you can kind of decide what you want to do um from that. What is it? Do you have a 9 to 5 too?
Yeah, I'm a supervisor over at Press Seal. I work third shift.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So you're doing that and doing the rehab.
Yeah, yeah. I was helping out a lot. Like I said, I had a buddy that did a lot, but I got in there and I helped, like paint and just learning different skills. Like you said, if I'm gonna get into this game, I got to learn a different skill. So I was in there learning how to, paint, do flooring. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
something that quick, I can maybe grasp my mind around instead of having to pay someone $2,000 to lay some flooring down.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
so. I kind
Yeah.
of learned it, so it was a good thing for that. But yeah, I work a 9 to 5, so like I said, I paid 37,000 for it. I put another 57,000 into it, so we all in at like 94,000. So in that area, like I said, another house in that area went for like 130, 135, and I talked to my realtor, and she said it can probably go for like 140. So
Yeah. So you'll be able to pull probably hopefully out like 30K.
yeah, if not, well, the guy was saying I could probably, hopefully, I could pull out. I'm hoping to pull out at least 70 of it.
Mm,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
yeah,
That's what's up. Yeah. And then also with that being said, like if you're able to find a way to like do one deal on the side, like wholesaling,
right.
it's one of the best ways to like just have cash influx into your business. Like it helps a ton. But yeah, bro, any way that I can help support you, bro, just let me know.
Okay, I appreciate it. I
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yep. Junior, did you just finish up a call, bro?
I I did. Yeah, they always call like right when the meetings start.
Yeah. Did you get
Yep.
a deal? Did you get locked up?
I no, I'm looking to get this one locked up. It was a discovery. Me and this guy smoked for like 45 minutes. It's three mobile home parks and one duplex. So yeah, looking to see what we can. I mean, his asking is pretty aggressive. Like he wants us to purchase it on like a 10 cap, and that's like, it's like, but if the numbers make sense, I'm gonna try to negotiate with him to see if we can get it at something where it's like, okay, we can probably make a good amount on these here.
So to for the people in the call, Junior, what is a 10 cap? What do you mean when you say that?
So basically, that's the cap rate, right? Investors purchase at the return they're looking to make back. If I'm explaining it correctly here, the return they're looking to make back. If I'm not mistaken, 10 is kind of it's pretty aggressive numbers wise, but if I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. Investors in Indiana, they're at what 12 right now, at least in Fort Wayne. Are they at about 12?
Yeah, so the capitalization rate is if you were to purchase a home for $100,000, an
Mm-hmm.
investor is wanting to, they're looking at their return year over year. So a 10 cap would be a 10% return year
Yep.
over year. So if we bought a property for $100,000, you would want to make that year $10,000, right? In rent. So that would be like 800 bucks a month. If you 800 times 12, whatever that would equal to get, 10,000. Um, so a lot of it, so that's how you calculate that. You take away the rent minus the repairs minus what the cost is of the utilities monthly for the net cash flow that the investor would get, and you multiply that by 12, um, and then divide it by the point whatever percentage, because some investors want a 12% return, some want a 15. That's how rentals are, and especially like these bigger portfolios. So yeah, that's what Junior's talking about with the capitalization rate. And if you're buying a property where it's rented, right, and it doesn't need any repairs, sometimes investors, a lot of times, will use that capitalization rate to see where they should be able to purchase, right? So, yep, that's what he's talking about. And a 10 cap is pretty high. Like a lot of times, if when I'm purchasing bigger portfolios or things of that nature and I'm getting them under contract, I like to be like around a 15 cap, like a 15 cap. Like that makes it so you've got a lot of margin to be able to sell it to other investors where that would make sense. Um, but yeah, some
Exactly. And that's basically why I mentioned that 10% is really aggressive.
yeah, yeah, some real estate jargon y'all are learning quite a bit here. We got all these freaking abbreviations, cap rate, PPC, SEO, RVM, PPL. It's like, bro. So, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. All right. Anybody else got any other questions? I got a question to ask Jameson. How do you feel about Alabama's ranking in college football ranks right now?
You would.
Hmm.
Uh, well, I think that they will beat the brakes off Mercer this weekend.
Off Mercer?
Yeah, they play Mercer on Saturday. And then they play Oklahoma, who sucks this year. They're 5-5 right now. So if they, I don't know if they play this weekend or not, but they'll be 5-5 when we play. Um, and then we play Auburn. Um, Auburn sucks this year too, but that's a rivalry week game, so records don't necessarily mean anything when it comes down to that. Ohio State, Michigan, Army, Navy, Alabama, Auburn.
How about them Indiana teams, boy? Notre Dame and IU.
Uh, Notre Dame, I think, is overrated. They are every year.
They look good though this year.
They do, but look at who they play. If you put Notre Dame in the SEC,
They just smacked Michigan.
Michigan sucks this year.
Anyways, we could talk about football forever, but I absolutely love it. But
I love seeing IU. I'm not an IU fan, but I mean I'm lived in Indiana my entire life, so I'll watch IU. I'll watch Notre Dame. Um, I think they're going to get slaughtered by Ohio State next week.
Mm-mm. No way.
Yeah,
No way.
I think they lose by at least 2 touchdowns.
Oh no, Ohio State's not that good.
IU hasn't really played a tough game this year,
They've blown everybody out.
but they haven't played anyone. They beat UCLA, who isn't relevant anymore. They beat Michigan, who's having an off year because they lost Hardbaugh. They beat Michigan State, who hasn't been relevant in football, and
Michigan's the returning champs. You can't discount that.
they lost their coach.
That doesn't mean anything. All right. Anyways,
It
anybody,
means a lot.
Jorge, it's good to see you on
If
here,
they
bro.
beat Ohio State, I will say that they're the real deal.
They will. They will. Jorge, what you got, man? You got any questions? I think he said he was working. He said he might not be able to talk a lot, but I think this was a good call. Went over all the marketing sources, had some sales in there. If nobody else has got anything, see you guys on Friday if you want to join the Q&A. Cool. Cool. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your week. Talk soon.
Peace.